And smiles everyone, and welcome to my channel. So today I'm working on some shaker journaling cards. um, I think they're kind of cool and something different for your journals, and they're quite easy to do. And I've done a couple, three here, and I thought I'd turn on my camera and share with you how I'm making these. They're pretty easy to do, and excuse me, recycled materials, really. So you can use anything really for packaging and such. These are bags, just a plastic bag. My mom had gave me some of these because she didn't need them anymore. And so I tried some of that and it works well. And this here is from a magnet sheet that I had bought. And then this here packaging is, I think it was a stamp that came in this. And then if you don't have any packaging type things, there is always page protectors. This is a rather large one. It was for scrapbook paper, but you can get for your ordinary binder protection. Paper protectors work well too. So I'm going to just continue on making some of these and show you just how easy it really is to do. So I think what I'll do is I'll use this packaging right here for the next ones. So I have some journaling cards that I just backed and haven't decorated yet, type of thing. So I'm going to use some of these. Let's see, and this is a napkin that I had, and I put it on some book page because you can see the lettering behind, and then backed it with some tea dyed paper. So I think this is the one we'll do first. And so basically I take the packaging and I will cut it and open it up. This one is quite thick, but they don't have to be super thick. I'm wondering if that'll just tear down for me. Yeah, it is. Awesome. Oh, maybe not that spot. Got hung up there. I'll just cut it. And then we'll just cut the bottom off here. So I hope everyone's having a lovely day today. Okay, I don't know where I put my, oh, there it is. My little garbage bucket. So I'll just cut down here too on the fold. Get this opened all the way up. Okay, so then I'll just measure this out. So basically I'm just going to put this on top of here. Now this one isn't quite as clear as something such as this packaging, but that's all right. It's still, I like it. It's still just fine the way it is. So I'm just going to roughly cut around this because I can trim it up after I get it sewn. Now I haven't tried this with glue. I don't know how well glue would work. To be honest, I'm not sure how well that would work. So I am preferring to sew it, but I'm sure maybe Fabri-Tac would work enough. A nice tight, tough glue should work at keeping this on. But as I said, I am going to be sewing today. So basically I'm just going to do a zigzag stitch along this. So I'll just get my, well, maybe I will do get a couple of these ready, and then I'll sew them. Oh, that's not quite large enough. I like this just plain, except for I think I'm going to edge it. Maybe I'll use black soot to edge this with. I like the image a lot, and I don't think if I use some sequins it's going to be enough. Just the image. So we'll get that inked up around the edges before I go to sew it. And it looks like I'm going to have to add some tea-dyed paper to the back of that. Okay. Excuse me. Let me just get some of my scraps, see if I can find one that's big enough. Yeah, that will work. Just the one that will work even better. Yeah, I think I'll use this one. So I'm just going to quickly use my glue stick and get some tea-dyed paper on the back so that it can be journaled on. So where did I put my, there it is. Since we're going to sew around this, I'm just going to use the glue stick because the paper is a little bit thicker. It's actually not tea-dyed paper. That particular piece is from a book, the start of a book. It's a little thicker than copy paper, but since I'm sewing, it's fine to use the glue stick with it. Okay, so get that ready. Now where did I put my, excuse me, my reach is, had to reach for my scraper. Love this little scraper. Okay, wasn't planning on having to put a piece of paper on the back of any of these. I thought they were all prepared because I had got them out of my to finish container. There. So we'll get a piece of there we go. I just had to, sorry, lost my thought for a minute because I just noticed this packaging here, and get a piece of packaging here and go from there. Okay, so I think these ones were all, this one's going to be too small. Ooh, that's just about enough, but not quite. But that's fine. We can cut another piece here. Get that ready to sew. Okay. There, and like I said, I'm just roughly cutting around it because I can trim it up when I get it sewed. So there's that one. Oh, here's a nice big one that I think I'll do. I think this will work. Yeah, that'll work well. But I want to decorate it a little bit. What do I got? Got some stuff on my desk here. I think maybe we'll go with a person, which I have right here. I think it'll be good, maybe, to go with the person. Or, no, I don't think. No, not with that one. I'm going to go, I have some flowers over here I'm going to try. I was working, I had cut out some flowers earlier, so these are on my desk, so let's see if that would work. Well, that's okay, except I want to maybe show a little bit more of that W, and I don't want to cover up that button. So we have this one. Yeah, that looks kind of nice. But I really kind of like this yellow. Yeah. I think I'm going to go with the yellow flowers. So we'll just glue that really quick onto there. And it's thin enough that I think a glue stick will be just fine. So get this glued on and let it dry a little bit before we sew it again with this one. Excuse me. Got a bit of a frog throat today. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay, I think that'll be good. I could have maybe edged it, inked the edge, but that's okay. I don't need to because I'm going to put sequins, and then yeah, that is pretty well almost perfect. I just have to cut off a little bit on the one side. Okay, so that one will be ready to sew. And then, let's see, I got some more over here. This one, I need to definitely add something. And I don't know even where I got this piece of acetate, but I'm thinking it works really well with this background. So I'm going to use that on there. And this one, I think I'm going to use a person on. And I think I'll use a larger person. I don't always get a chance to use the larger ones in here. So let's see what we got here that might work on there nicely. Single. He's okay, but not quite what I'm looking for. Well, those guys are pretty nice. So I'll keep those. I'm thinking I want a double is what I want, is a couple on here. Well, that one's nice too. 3 1. Yeah, that goes over just enough that it's not going to work. I do like it though. That looks good too. Got a married couple. Oh, that's pretty good. I think I like that better than the sitting couple. That one's a no. Okay, let's try these girls. Oh, I like those. I think I'm liking the contrast with this sort of grayish white. Yep, that's the one we're going to use. Okay. All right. So I think we'll sew these ones, and that'll be we'll see where we're at afterwards. Okay. So I'll just get my sewing machine. And, oh, I better, geesh, I better glue these girls on first, and I'm going to use some tacky glue because it's more like a cardboard, these people. So Tim Holtz people is what they are. I do like to cut out my own at times too, but these are really nice because it's, of course, I think they call them paper dolls, and they're already done for you. And I think I found these on sale, so, and I've been quite enjoying them a lot actually, so I think I might buy some more because they are very good quality. That is for sure. Oh, there's a little bit over here I should get. I want to make this as fully to the paper as possible because I don't want any sequins to get in behind them. So we'll get that on there. Yep, I think that's going to look great with the, especially with the little frame on it. Maybe I'll bring it down just a little bit. Okay, there's my scraper there. So we'll get that glued on there really good. That's what we'll do. Wondering, I could put a little more under the feet, I'm thinking. Didn't get those quite good enough. I'm trying not to bend them because they will crease. So here we go. Yeah, that's better. And the same on this side, unless I just hold that maybe. Just gonna hold this for a second till it the contacts well. Okay, gonna let that dry, and we'll sew these other ones while that's drying. And I'm not gonna worry about inking because I have the frame for that one. Excuse me. So we'll sew this peacock first because I did no gluing with that. So I'm just gonna quickly sew these. Now what I'm going to do is sew them around 3 sides and leave the top, or yeah, I'll leave the top open, and we'll put our sequins in, and then we can just sew the tops afterwards. So this is going to be a tad bit, it could be, depending on the materials you're using. Ooh, that is very unsteady. I think I better get rid of my mat, my glass mat, if I'm going to do this sewing, because it's making my sewing machine tippy, and I don't want that. So let's just move the mat out of the way because I don't really need it. My desk might be a little bit of, yeah, from my crafting, it gets a little bit of the small pieces of paper and stuff like that sneaks under the mat. Okay, there, that's better. Hopefully I can see that to some degree for sure. Okay, so let's get some of the sewing done, and we'll move on to the next step. I think these will be so cool in a journal. Very interactive, right? Is what will be, I was thinking. Okay, let's just get that on there. I'm just trying to line this up. And so it might be a little slippery depending again on the packaging or the paper protectors you're using. So just hold on to it as you sew, and you should have no problems with it. Okay, so I'm just going to sew around this. I have a couple of ideas of journals that I will put these in. This peacock in particular would look really nice in a bird journal, I think. Okay. Or a nature journal, or an oriental journal. Like, it will be nice in any of those types of journals. Okay. So we'll just put that down. I'm just going to cut my threads off while it's on this side and get those out of the way. Okay. I would sew faster, but because it's a little bit of a slippery material, I don't want to sew quite as fast. Okay. Should be, oh, I need one more stitch. Yeah, that should be good. Okay. Nope. I gotta go one more, I think. We'll make it better. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's better. All right, and this will be the last side for this one. Now this particular packaging is a little bit thicker than like a stamp packaging would be, but a stamp packaging works just as good. That's what's so cool about it all is, okay, so we'll cut that off, and then I'll sew the next one, and then we'll do some trimming afterwards. So we'll get these ones done. This is the nice big one, which I think is going to be cool. And now that I'm thinking about it, with something as large as this, you could make it a flip out on your page, right? And that would be cool too, to have it as a flip out, and then you've got the sequence and texture every time you flip it out. So I might use that for this particular piece, or I might do a larger one. This one feels quite slippery. So I'm going to hang on to it really good. Okay, turn it this way. I'm going to cut those off right now while I'm at it. Now I do save some of these because I want to make some homemade paper, and I think that would be cool for texture in the paper. But I haven't tried it yet with the threads, but I'm going to. I think it will look really cool and give some strength to the paper as well. side. Oh, I'm going to do one more, I think. Whoop, I forgot to put, my goodness gracious. I was in such a rush that I forgot to put my foot down. How terrible is that? Let's see. Okay. Oh, no, it's fine. It's just fine. Okay, let's try this again and let's put the foot down. How silly was that? Okay. There we go. That's what happens when you get in too much of a rush. Okay, so that one is done. Then we'll do this small one, and then we'll do our curls. This one is going to be very, very tight. Not a lot of extra on this one at all. So get this lined up well. Okay. Not a lot of wiggle room with this one at all. When we get one side done, it makes it quite secure. So you don't have to worry about slippage at all then. Put the foot down, Colleen. Excuse me again. The frog is with me today. Okay, one more side here, and then we'll do our girls. Okay, done. Okay, now our girls. We'll, let's see how dry those are. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. It still needs a little bit of drying, but we can sew it on. So this is a little, I'm just going to wipe this a bit because, where is my, there's a little bit of dust on it. This one is a bit thicker than the packaging that I'm using, but my sewing machine will still handle it just fine. Okay. See if, let's move that up just a tad. Okay, there we go. Now this one I'm going to put a little bit closer because it doesn't quite line up at the bottom, but that's okay. Like the frame, I don't want to cut any of the frame off is what I'm worried about. I think I'll go one more and then I should be okay. Still, I'll catch the bottom just fine. We'll check when we're done here. Make sure I catch that on the bottom. Okay. Side. This one will be, won't have to trim anything off of this one. So I'll get this done and then we'll be done with the sewing machine. Well, till we do we gotta sew the tops. I shouldn't say we're done. But I will put it to the side while we do the rest of this. Okay, I think that looked good. All right. Okay, let's put that to the side for now. And then we'll just trim off the sides of this so that we get any hangage we will trim off. Okay. Okay, I think that one's good. And trim this one. I'll bring my mat back up just because if I have any spillage of my sequins, it'd be easier to catch on the mat, I think. See if that's good on there. Yep. Okay. So, bring these back. Finish trimming them. Quite easy to trim them up just because you can just run your scissors along your page and it'll get ready any of the packaging quite easily. That's why I like to turn it over and do it this way. And what about that side? That side's pretty good. We're going to take off the top, so it needs some trimming. There. Okay, so we got that one done. This one's already done. Didn't need to trim that one. Oh, we were going to check. Yeah, I did catch the back, so that's good. This one's not trimmed up, so we're just going to trim up this one. I want to take my tails off, keep those. Okay. Oh, it's easier if you do it from the back, I find. It just sort of glides then. Okay, we got those all trimmed up. I'm just going to put these scraps in my little garbage. All right, so now we're going to do the sequins in each one. So I'm using some micro beads. I had these micro beads, so I'm going to use those. And then I have some sequins. I have some stars and some golden sequins and some silver ones. I don't have a lot of different sequins because I don't work with them a lot, but I do have a few. And then these ones I had mixed up, and I'm just thinking those ones in particular I think will look really good with those girls. So I think I'm going to put those with the girls. And let's see. This one I can basically use any color with. So I also got these. So I got some silver. So there's different, there's hearts, and there's little scissors and little flowers and stuff in that one. And then I got some stars, some purple stars, which I don't know if those are going to work. And then I've got some pink, some dark or bright neon kind of pink, and subtle pink in these sequins. So those for sure, we're going to use those. So what do we want to use with our peacock? The peacock is kind of cool because with the blue and the green. So I got some blue here. I wonder if that would, oh yeah, that would work really well. So I have this little container that I use, and when I'm going to mix up a bit here. I'm going to, so I just put it in this little container, and I think I'll put a couple of scoops of the blue, because that blue really matches the peacock's head. They're very, very tiny. And then I got some green here, which would be nice too. So I'm going to put a couple of green in there. Oh yeah. That's looking quite nice. So you can mix up your own, right? So I have some of this. Wonder if I want to use that. No, I don't. Sort of a grayish black, but I don't think I want that in there. Like the gold, I think would look really nice because, right, you got the yellow in there. So I got two different kinds of gold. I think I'm going to use some of this one. Yeah, they're like gold flakes, these ones. Okay. Now, I think that might be all I'm going to put in this. Like, I don't want to put too much either. So I'll put this in and see how it looks, because I might want some more just because it's a larger card. So then I just pour it in. And there we go. And then I'll sew that up, but it'll shake. I think that's going to be enough, actually. I kind of liking that. I forgot to trim the top of this one, I see. So I'm going to just trim off the top of this. There we go. All right, so that one is ready to finish sewing. So I'm going to just put it to the side. And this one's going to be quite simple because, well, this one has stars. Oh, they both have stars. So I think these are both kind of the mixture. Oh, I was going to show you. I also have these. This is actually salt that I used on a project where you put the ink on, or not the ink, the alcohol, well, alcohol ink or such, and watercolor, especially the watercolor too. I think it's more the watercolor I did. Yeah. And then you put the salt on, and it leaves a cool texture on your piece, and it absorbs up the colors that you're using. And this is the salt that I had. This was pure white, so I kept it, and I thought I could, this was the perfect project to use some of it in. And I'm thinking actually that might look kind of cool with those girls. So now that I got that in my hand, I think I'm going to just slip it right in here. Is what I'm going to do. I got a hair for some reason. Let's see if I can get this in here without spilling it all over. Oh yeah, I'm getting it in there. Okay. Whoop. Now this one, these are a little bit bigger than other sequins, so they're sort of, and I don't think they're quite dry enough. Well, maybe. Anyways, I'm going to put those in there because I like them in there. I think will look kind of cool. See, this wasn't as flexible as the other kind of packaging I used. So I don't think I'm going to put as much of that in as I had. I'll just put a few pieces like that because I'm finding it's not as flexible, so it's not moving as much. So we'll use that in a more flexible packaging one. Okay, so now that I've seen that, I think I'm going to not use these because I got some big stars in there. So I want to use something that is a little bit smaller. So I'm going to use some of these pink because they're quite pretty. And I don't think I have any orange type sequins. Okay, so I'm gonna just put a little bit in here. Oh, that's quite a bit actually. So you don't need a lot, that's for sure. Not in this particular project anyways. And I think I'll put some silver flecks in this one. And I think that'll be enough. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to stir this up a little bit. We'll get that in there. Yeah, that's better. It's because it's not quite as flexible and the salt is a little chunkier, so that works better. Yeah. Okay, so the girls are done. Excuse me again. I'm thinking with this one, we're going to put some of this black for sure. It's sort of like a black, more of a smoky, deep smoky gray. So I'm going to put some of that in because I'm liking that. That's for this small one. So I don't need much else in there. What color do I want to use? Excuse me again. Oh, I should have brought some coffee with me. Okay, what color am I going to use? I think I'll use these silver. They're like little silver balls is what they're like. We'll put some of those in there. Yeah, I'm liking that. And I think that's all we're going to put in this one because it is quite a small one. We'll put these in and then we'll decide from there if we want anything else. Now the other thing is I'm thinking you could also sew these where you leave more slack in the middle if you want to put more sequins in than what I'm doing when you sew them. Oh yeah, I'm liking that a lot. Yep. That's wonderful. Okay, so we got this big one and there's quite a bit of slack. in that one. So I'm wondering, except for I don't think it's quite the color I want. I was thinking I'd use the salt in this one, but no, I want something a little brighter than that. So I'm going to go back to the gold. I'm thinking with the yellow flowers, we'll get a little bit of gold for sure. And this is gold rounder beads, not the flecks. I'm going to put a bit of that in because this is a bigger card. And I'm thinking, no, not that color. Let's see. What would be, that one's, this is quite a bright color, isn't it? Yeah, bright pink. I don't think I want the pink. And I don't think I want, well, that's a pretty color. That, I should have put some in with the girls. And I still could. That's the great thing. Like this is an orange. So I'm going to just put a teeny bit of these in with the girls. Oh yeah, I like that. Adds a little bit of pizzazz. That's for sure. Okay. And then I got green, quite a dark, bright blue, so I don't want to use that. Maybe I'll put a little bit of these in. I find they have the pink tone, but they're also quite translucent. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in, I think. Put a little bit of those. And then I think we're going to we'll put some silver flecks in. And I think we might put a little bit of this smoky black because the W quite matches that a bit. So we'll put a little bit of that in. So basically you can just pick and choose. And like if you have things that you have punched out and you have like where you have little pieces that are left over, or if you've die cut something, you can certainly use those instead of sequins. You can use paper made sequins. Would work just as good as what I'm doing today. I just had this bit of sequins because I do make cards here and there too, so I have a bit of that in my craft room. That's all the sequins I've got, not a lot. Okay, so now we'll add this in. See if we want any more. Actually, I think I do want a bit more than what we've got. So I'm going to put some flecks in of gold and some more of the smoky black. Just because that card is quite a large card, I think it could use a little bit more. Okay, so we'll add those two in and see, because we might add some silver also. Let's see what this does first. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll be enough. Okay, so we'll quickly sew these and I'll show you the results when we get them sewn. I think what I'll do is I will just quickly move my sewing machine, and I sort of will be sewing off camera, but that way I won't have to move the mat. But it won't take me long because I just have to do the tops because we've sewed it everywhere else, and we just need to finish up seal them in, seal the sequence in. So just make sure that you're starting where your zigzag has left off on the one corner, so you're sure to capture all of it so there is no holes, little tiny holes of any kind that will let the sequence come out. And then I'm going to just back stitch to secure it. Okay, that one's done. Get this little one done. Then I have to go get some water or a coffee or something, because I am certainly feeling my throat again. With all this coffee going on right now, I think I'm too dry is what's happened. Okay, there, that one's done. Next. And we got one. Whoop, I gotta take those. Oh, I'll get those in a minute. Now we'll do our girls. Oh, just one sec. There. Okay. Yeah, I can even tell this is thicker for my sewing machine. I think I actually prefer the packaging or the paper liners because they're not as thick and they have a little more give in them. But I do like how this was framed. But I have to say I like that frame. It was perfect with that one. Okay, one more and then that shall be it. Okay, let's just line this up. Okay. Okay, I'll just get all the threads cut off and we'll have a look at them all. These ones I got to get. And one more. Oh, I'm pleased how they turned out. Yes, yes. Okay, so I'll show you what we got done today. And I think they'll add some interest to a journal, that's for sure. So we did this flower one. And I'm really liking the smoky beads in there. And then we did the girls. And they turned out really nice. They have the frame around it too. And make a great shaker. And then we did the peacock. And I really like how that turned out also. But like I said, this is much softer. Has more give, I guess I should say, than this more stiff acetate. And I think this works better. And then this last one we did. And I'm really liking how that turned out too. It's a little larger, so you could also use it as a flip out. So that's it for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed and you got some ideas and that you'll give it a try making some of these. So you all have a lovely, lovely day and a very crafty, crafty day. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps my channel grow. And we'll talk to you all again very soon. Bye for now.